This is your video lecture for Chapter 63, Financial Management in the Dental Office, out of your Modern Dental Assisting book. The business staff undertakes the responsibility of maintaining complete, accurate, and up-to-date financial records in billing and collection, financial planning, and declaring money earned to federal and then state agencies. When we're talking about financial management, we're talking about account management, which is clearly defined as financial policy that's established by the dentist, and then gathering financial information. So the fee presentation, marketing financial arrangements, and then also the credit report. Accounting is the means or process of recording, classifying, and summarizing financial transactions. And bookkeeping is recording and accounting process. This is going to include the accounts receivable, so money coming in, and then the accounts payable, the money going out. Accounts receivable is the accounts receivable system managing money owed to the practice. This is going to involve maintaining financial records, and we could do this in a computerized way. So some of the basics with accounts receivable are going to be, we're going to use charge slips. These are used to transmit financial information between the treatment area and the business office, and then also walkout statements just showing the current balance for the patient. Financial accountability, this is going to be the responsible party. This is the person who is agreed to be responsible for the payment. Payment at the time of treatment. So a lot of times our offices are working with having the fee paid up front, or maybe a payment plan in the works before treatment is done. And then sometimes we have professional courtesy and discounts. All should be discussed before treatment is done. All payments must be entered promptly into the bookkeeping system so that they are recorded in the account history and on the daily journal page, daily proof of posting, and also bank deposits. Monthly statement is a request for payment of the balance due on the accounts receivable. Under this plan, the patient is expected to pay the balance in full on receipt of the statement. Divided payment plans, so the patient pays a fixed amount on a regular basis, or a monthly payment plan. Collections will have accounts receivable report. This is going to show the total balance due and the age of that account. Management of collection efforts, making those collection telephone calls and trying to collect that fee. Sending out letters, making sure that we're following through. And financial collection options, so sending these accounts off to a collection agency or a small claims court. Accounts payable management, so all the money that's owed by the practice. Expenses and disbursements determine the cost of doing business in the dental practice. All these expenses are incurred, they become accounts payable. So we have some overhead costs. This is going to be your fixed overhead, business expenses that continued all the time. So these are going to be like our rent, our mortgage, the utilities, insurance, and then also paying for our staff members. Variable overhead. So these are going to be the expenses that we have in in supplies, lab fees, equipment repairs, things of that nature. And then gross various net income. The gross income is all the money coming in. Net is that number minus the practice related cost. Disbursements. Effective management of a dental practice requires organized handling and prompt payment of all bills for practice related expenses. A certified public accountant is often employed by a retainer basis. Packing slip is an itemized list of goods shipped and the recipient of the shipment. The invoice is a detailed list of goods shipped and services rendered. And a statement is a summary of all charges, payments, credits, and debts for the month. Organize expenditure records. These are statements and invoices that have not yet been paid and are placed in the accounts payable folder. Payment of accounts, cash on delivery, and petty cash is typically kept in the office to give change to patients. So a check is a draft or an order on a specific bank account for payment. Payee is going to be the person named on the check as the intended recipient. Maker is the one from whose account the money or of the check will be withdrawn. And a check register is a record of all checks issued and deposits made to the account. Before the payee can receive cash for the check, he or she must endorse it. With a restrictive endorsement, the check can be deposited only to the account of the named individual. If the maker of the check, for various reasons, does not want the bank to pay a check he or she has written, the maker may request that the bank issue a stop payment order for the check. The written stop payment order must reach the bank bookkeeper before the check is presented for payment. And then the bank is going to charge a fee for that service. Non-sufficient funds, a check will be returned to the payee marked NSF if there is not enough money in the account to cover the check. When a check from a patient is rendered, the amount of the check must be charged back against the patient's account. Often a telephone call to the maker will resolve the problem and the check may be redeposited. All checks must be accounted for in a specific expense category, with a categorized system posting to the appropriate category as part of the check writing process. Totals from the monthly summaries are then forwarded to an annual summary. Through the keeping of these records, the dentist and the accountant at any time can quickly tell what the practice expenses have been to date. Payroll is the complete and accurate employee records. We will have a separate payroll sheet for each employee. And the sheet is going to have the employee's full name, social security number, address, and number of exemptions claimed. Deductions from payroll are going to include the income tax withholding for state and federal, the federal insurance contributions, other deductions, and then government remittance. Dental insurance is the plan that assists a patient financially with the cost of dental care. Traditional dental care insurance plan and a managed care dental insurance plan. Parties involved in the dental insurance are going to be the patient or the subscriber, the person who's carrying the plan, any of their dependents. The group is going to be the union or employment organization that is notified the dental insurance. The carrier is the insurance company, and the provider is the dentist who renders the treatment. How benefits are calculated. Usual, customary, and reasonable fees. A usual fee is the fee that the dentist charges for the given service. The customary fee is the fee within the range of the fees charged for the same service by dentists with similar training and experience within the same area. A reasonable fee is the fee justified by the special circumstances necessitating the extensive or complex treatment. Schedule of benefits. This is the list of fixed specified amounts that the carrier will pay toward the cost of covered services. The patient's responsible for the difference. A fixed fee schedule is established for any treatment received by the patient, and the dentist must accept the amount paid by the carrier as paid in full. When a subscriber is going to starts a new job, they have a 30 to 60 day waiting period, typically before they can become eligible for the insurance. If the subscriber changes jobs or is laid off or retires, their coverage is usually terminated within 30 days. Information that explains the coverage under a specific plan is found in the benefits booklet. So there may be limitations. These are the least expensive alternative treatment, dual coverage, determining primary and secondary coverage. There's a birthday rule and a coordination of benefits, and non-duplication of benefits. Dental procedure codes are the code on the dental procedure in nomenclature was developed by the American Dental Association. This is going to speed up and simplify the reporting of the dental procedures. So the codes are provided in the current dental terminology, which is published periodically by the ADA. Our codes are very specific, so your dentist will decide which codes they use for each treatment, but each procedure is going to have a designated code number. When we're filing a claim, we're going to prepare a claim form. This is going to have the treatment on one line and the tooth number on the next. It's going to be mailed then to the carrier, or we can send this by electric transmission. When we're doing a procedure, it might be necessary to file for a predetermination. All charges are entered into the patient account history or ledger. A claim for payment is submitted to the insurance company. Financial arrangements are made within financial arrangements are made with the patient for payment of his or her portion, and then claims are another form of accounts receivable. Checks received from insurance carriers should be accompanied by an explanation of benefits. So typically we'll get that, and then also the patient will get it. This is going to break down how the payment was determined. After making the payment, the patient owes a balance. He or she should be notified that the insurance carrier has paid its portion, and the patient is now responsible for the unpaid balance. If we have overpayments, we can either add this to the patient's account or the family account, or send this back in the way that it was paid. Some examples of dental insurance fraud include billing for services that are not provided, changing fees on a claim to form a higher payment, or disregarding a co-payment or deductible and accepting only the insurance payment and then writing off the deductible.